네, 안녕하세요. 저는 영국에서 에미라고 합니다. 우! 네, 잘 지냈었어요. 나 엄청 많이 냈는데 6개월마다 유학생 오잖아요. 와고 가요. 거의 다 계속 있고 싶어요. 뭐가 비자 받고 싶은데 못하니까 들어가야 되는데 계속 저게 한국에서 돌아가고 싶다 너무 좋아했는데 지금도 K-pop 때문에 그냥 한국에 오고 싶은 사람 엄청 많아요. 정말 영국인에게 그냥 식당의 값만 보여주면 돼요. 왜냐면 식당 가면 너무 비싸요. 거의 그냥 그릇 4만 원? 4만 원부터 있으니까 저 어머니도 한국에 왔을 때 그냥 적다 어리게 많이 먹을 수 있고 술 너무 사요. 소주 있잖아요. 소주는 너무 사니까 우리 나이 중에서 술 많이 먹고 싶잖아요. 그래서 한국에 왔고 재밌게 놀 수 있고 그 클럽 컬처도 너무 재밌거든요. 지금 아니고 그런 때문에 근데 보통 24시간 있잖아요. 5시까지 놀고 싶으면 놀고 다음 날 12시까지 술 먹고 싶으면 놀 근데 그거 영국에서 없거든요. 아침 2시까지만 놀 수 있으니까 학생들이 계속 놀고 싶은데 할 수 없어서 한국에 오고 싶은 이유는 클럽에도 있고 너무 좋은데 부산까지 가고 싶으면 갈 수 있잖아요. 이건 너무 신기해요. 영국에서도 할 수 있는데 엄청 비싸요. 거의 20만 원? 근데 영국에서 왜 이렇게 비싼지 모르겠어요. 처음에 힘들어요. 한국에서 좋았을 때 뭔가 다 한글었으니까 All the names I knew, the similar names 열주로 1가, 2가, 3가, 4가, 5가, 2가, whatever가 And there's so many 열주로s and there's so many 종로s and there's so many 신촌, 산촌, 센촌, 손촌 They're all the same name and one of them is here, the other one's there, the other one's here And so it's like, I remember being like, translation is easy But then you go like, okay, I want to go to Gangnam I was like, oh, I'm gonna go explore in Gangnam So I went all the way to Gangnam But I was in the middle of nowhere in Gangnam Like the transportation is really nice, but if you don't know Korea, you end up nowhere. So I remember just being like, is this Gangnam everybody's raving about? But I thought I was in Gangnam and I was like, okay, I'm lost. So that's good. The reason people want to stay here after they've been here for a few months is because they can go everywhere. Because they're like, oh, we can explore the city. And Korea has a lot more to do than a lot of people think. Even when it first came to Korea, people go like Hongdae and maybe Itaewon. So much to do in Korea. And the thing is about Korea, the more you stay here, the more things you find out to do. It's cheap and you can actually go everywhere. Which is not the case in London whatsoever, or the rest of England, or the whole of Europe. 지하철만 35분? 얼마나 안 걸렸어요. 편해요. 근데 잘 있으면 편한데 서야 되면 뭐가 계속 그냥 자리 없나 앉았어요. 근데 이거 like the last two, everything was full, but then you walk until the end one and there's no, and you're like 산책 좀 했어요. 그냥 구경 좀 Yeah, that's 신기해. That is very 신기해. I only discovered that I've been in Korea for a while, and I only discovered about this a few months ago on the Naver. Like it's like written showing which would be quicker, so you can get the next train. And then I remember one of my Korean friends was like, "Oh, Emily, let's stand on that one because that would be quick transfer." She didn't tell me she had seen it. So I was like, wow, she's such a genius. Like, how did she memorize all of this information? And then later, I was like on Naver and I was like, what is this like 4.2, 1.3? I was like, 이건 무슨 말인가? And then I just stood there and I was like, is that But you don't notice this in the beginning. You just think it's like the number. But actually, yeah, 없죠. 이거 완전 efficient해. 근데 우리 영국에서 glass doors 없거든요. 너무 old하니까. 근데 한국에서 있으니까 쓸 수 있어요. The train in England, it stops like halfway here, halfway there. 근데 한국에서 완전 완벽하게 stop 하니까 갈 수 있는데 영국에서 다 like sometimes the door is like half open. But anyway, it's like we don't have the things written on the floor. 위험하잖아요. 우리 영국에 있을 때 계속 무서워요. 죽을 수도 있잖아요. 갑자기 whoops, slip 하면 die. So easy to die. Humans are very fragile beings, so the moment you like slip, you die. I remember being a kid and you have the yellow line and every time you pass the yellow line, people are like, get off the yellow line, because 위험하니까. And there's a lot of incidents of people pushing each other and people dying and people committed suicide and public transports having to stop because someone threw themselves, something fell, rats, skydiving, woohoo. It is, of course it's much better because it keeps people safe. It also tells people where to wait. But I guess it's really expensive, and in the UK there's not enough space because it's really old. It exists for like 200 years, so there's no space to actually put the glass doors in. It's really expensive. So I don't think that the English government would do that. And I actually think that if they did put them in, the screen doors, some people would complain because it takes out from the classic English subway system look. Like old buildings in the UK are conserved. You can't touch an old building in the UK. Just like Hanoks in Korea, you can't just just destroy one. You have to preserve it. Because everything in the UK is old, everything is preserved. So you have to go to the government, get an approval, get a second approval, get a third approval to be able to do anything to a building. And the train is the same thing. Oh, that's really cool. 너무 신기해요. 이거 연구소 완전 없거든요. 저는 네이버 맵 써요. 근데 스트레스도 많이 받아요. 왜냐면 우리 집에 있는데 그 3분 후 도착. 다른 나라에 그런 적 없거든요. 그냥 우리 언제 도착하는지 모르겠으니까 체크할 수 있어요. It's very old. It's not as technological. It's not like the little train coming. You can observe it coming. It's more like no. The best thing is before you take the 지하철, you just see the board and you see a little train coming and you run. 근데 엘리베이터는 제가 타본 적이 없는데 근데 알아요. 젊은 사람 엘리베이터 타면 안 돼요. The harmonies are just like 운동하고 싶지 않니? 왜냐면 한국에서 나이 많이 있는 사람 많고 If you take a wheelchair, you have a problem, you can't take a stairs If you're lazy But it's mostly for the elderly 써야 되죠. We can't be like exclusive to some people And especially a place like 이태원 완전 크잖아요. 다리 너무 아프면 힘들면 타죠. 에어컨 없어요. 영국에서 에어컨 없죠. Oh my god It's like a sauna. 사우나 필요 없어 영국에서 그냥 지하철 타면 돼요. 추워요. 오, 조금 추운데? 우리 엄마도 탔을 때 너무 와 여기 너무 춥다 이렇게 말했었어요. 지금 벌써 거의 완벽하지 않을까요? 사실 더 늦게까지 지하철 있으면 좋겠는데 아침 5시까지 계속 24시간 있으면 좋겠는데 근데 와이파이도 있고 에어컨, 히팅도 있고 If you're pregnant, there's seating. If you're elderly, there's seating. 엘리베이터도 있고 계속 살고 싶은 이유는 사람 때문에 사실 근데 because of the transportation I can meet new people so for example I live in Mapo but I love going to different areas of the city and the whole reason I can do that is because there is a good 지하철 system so if I had to take taxis every day then I become very poor very quickly and I have to leave 뭐가 프리하니까 프리하게 친구 만들 수 있고 프리하게 다 할 수 있어
Oh, I've never paid attention to that before. Another very helpful thing to
Yeah.
know.
Joke about this. We're going to Lowell Forest today, so I'm gonna teach Jenny how to use the subway today.
Have a window. The air conditioner feels so nice in here.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It was really hot outside, so I'm so glad that
Yeah.
subways have AC.
Yeah, and that it's nice and comfortable. It makes the subway ride much more pleasant.
Right. They also have Wi-Fi here.
Ah.
Do they have Wi-Fi in your subway stations?
I don't think that we have Wi-Fi in the subway.
This is what we really like about-
And some of the buses, you can hook up to the buses.
yeah,
the
the air
Wi-Fi is really fast here too.
Did you know there are 3 different colors for subways?
Oh, really?
You're in number 9, right?
Right.
Okay, that's brown.
Ah.
Yeah.
So that's a good way to make sure that you're on the right subway
Yes,
as well.
yes.
If you're questioning myself sometimes
Yeah.
of what you're on the right line.
So this is line 7, and right here, can you see? It's olive color, just like my scarf.
Ah,
Yeah.
interesting.
Oh, you can also see different places in this line that you can go to. Look.
Oh, I've never paid attention to that
No.
before.
Maybe we should use this line more often. It has
Yeah.
more places to go to.
There's
Look,
so many places we have not gone.
it's really nice. Look at the view.
Oh my gosh, wow, it's beautiful.
Hey, let's take a selfie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look, we can get Lottie Tower and back of it.
Yeah, okay, here. Cheers.
Look at the view that we're getting.
Yeah.
The tower, how pretty it is.
You know what I like? I like the different activities you get to do, like riding bikes.
I really love the view a lot.
Yeah, so much.
It makes me realize that I'm living in a city with 20 million people, one of the biggest cities in the world.
Imagine you seeing this view every day when you go to work.
I know, it's beautiful. That's what I tell people back home all the time, how beautiful the river is here.
It feels really nice, like we're under the ground, right? But
Right.
no, we're like on the top, but it feels like we're under.
Yeah, and it
That's
feels like,
really nice.
like we're floating almost. You
Yeah.
know, it's a neat feeling. The subway ride's so smooth.
It is smooth.
It really is.
Okay, so you can hear it. They say you can transfer to line number. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So that's when you need to transfer.
Oh, okay. Okay, so we're getting
Also,
off
you know
now.
what I like is that whenever people are getting out, they find a path to get out, and all the ones that want to get in, they stand on the sides.
It's very respectful too,
Yeah, it
I
is.
think. We're getting
Also,
off
you know
now.
what I like is that whenever people. So you know how I showed you we to look at the
Right.
numbers. The numbers that we got off to is next to the stairs. So that's how easy it is. Compared if we took another number which is down all the way down there.
So if we were going to an exit that was further down,
It
we would pick
would
a
take
different.
us longer to get
Okay,
here.
we would pick a different number.
Yes.
Okay. That's really helpful. It's incredibly helpful.
It is. We have to transfer a lot. Good thing there is escalators and
Yeah,
elevators
because you know
everywhere.
my knee, because where I've been exercising, my knee's kind of a little bit sore. It's nice to have an escalator, an
It is.
elevator. It's also nice for elderly people, I think, too.
Also, what's really respectful here is the ones that are not, they don't want to go as fast. They stand on the right side, and the ones that are in a hurry, they walk on the left side. So right now, this is empty. This is for everyone that wants to walk faster.
Yeah, and look how high this goes up. You feel like you're on a roller coaster.
Yeah. Also, do you have this in your subway stations for safety?
No.
You don't,
no,
right?
No. I don't know why we don't have it in the United States. Because to keep people from getting hurt.
It does.
Either keep people from jumping onto the tracks.
People use their phones sometimes, so it might
Yeah.
fall down.
Or
so
small children.
Yeah.
I mean, anything.
True.
You know.
So as you can see, the train is coming. In the screen over there, the train is coming. It's just one station away.
Oh, right. Another very helpful thing to know.
So just keep looking for the screen over there and keep looking for the numbers.
But on your app, it tells you the numbers on the ground
It
too.
does, it does. Let's get on. Here.
Oh, it feels so good.
Oh, it does. You can sit on it if you want.
Here, you sit down.
Look, it says if you're pregnant, if you're old, and if you're carrying a child, you can sit on it. Can you see? Over
Yes,
here.
but I'm not really
Behind
old.
you.
I'm not pregnant.
Oh, you said your knees is hurting, so.
Okay. Look, see how this is outside. I kind of like it when the subway's on the outside.
Because you get to see the view.
Yeah, you get to see the city some, and I like that.
Yeah. And you can look at the screen what station is next, or you can hear it. So another good thing in the subway is that there are many stores and there are also small restaurants you can get your food from.
That's good because I'm starving.
Yeah.
All the really good food places, yes, very good.
Yeah.
That's nice if you can get something.
Also all these stores. It's really hot right now, so you can get a fan. So how was your first experience with the subway?
It was great, thanks to you.
It was great.
Yeah.
What did you learn today?
Well, I learned about making things easier as far as like picking the right car to get onto, and then also how just nice the subway system is here. It's nice and cool.
The air condition.
The air conditioning is great. You can see a lot.
The priority seats as well. If
the
you're
priority
overheard.
seats are good. It was nice, a good experience. I'm definitely going to be using the subway more. I can't believe I used the taxi as much as I did when the subway's not even that difficult to use.
Well, now you get to save up on your money instead of using a lot on the taxi.
Fantastic.
I always use, because I don't own a car here, and I'm very impressed by the public system here. The subway system is amazing. In fact, I really don't understand how they designed it. You see it on many levels, and you can get everywhere. Everything is really written very clearly so you can find your way. So today, I'm going to talk about the parts of the subway system that I find most amazing. Number one, seats for elders, and this includes also pregnant women, parents with children, and anybody who might be disabled or handicapped in some way. It's really fantastic. And today, I was riding on the subway, and of course there were empty seats. So I was very happy and very relieved. I know that these are assigned seats you see with signage there, and my experience with this has been fantastic. As an elder, the subway could be super crowded, but the seats that are designated are usually empty. You won't see anybody except those kinds of people sitting in them. So usually when I get on the subway, I'm thinking, oh, I'm so tired, or, you know, I've had to climb some stairs, or I've walked a long way, and I am looking forward to being able to sit because I have a long way to go, many stops, and my experience is usually that even in rush hour, I can find a seat because those designated seats for elders are usually empty, unless there's a lot of elders sitting there, but nobody else is going to sit there. They're very respectful of the elders in that way. The first time when I was in Korea, and I thought, that's pretty cool, you know, because you don't see that in many places, especially in America. You don't have designated seats except maybe for handicapped people. And this was really a surprise to me, and a happy surprise, because as an elder, you know, it's hard to stand up for a long time. The most surprising is that the seats are not taken by anybody except those people that it's designated for. So I really respect that in the Korean culture, that they really pay attention and they really respect the fact that there are designated seats for elders. So number two, every subway has an elevator. First, I didn't know this, and I was dragging suitcases or, you know, walking up long staircases, but I found out soon that if you look, there's always an elevator wherever you go. So, which is really nice. Again, it's very thoughtful and considerate. The Korean culture, I remember my mother was older and she was in a wheelchair and it was getting harder for her to walk also. so, and she had to really scream and yell and, you know, and petition the government to make certain designated pathways and elevators in buildings. And here in Korea, they already have that, so it's really impressive. Sometimes the staircases are very, very long with, and you know, you walk up halfway and you're out of breath. So I always now look for the elevator, and I'm happy to say that I always find one. I'm not sure. In America, I'm not sure, to tell you the truth, what the system is. I hope that they have some kind of elevator. They probably have a handicap lift, a stair lift or something like that, but where I was living in the States recently, it was rural New Hampshire, so actually we didn't have much public transportation. We were dependent on cars. And so in the city, I'm not really too sure if they have modernized it, but from what I remember, wow, it was difficult. So really, I appreciate a lot in Korea is the fact that they are considerate. They are thinking about the needs of the elderly. They are thinking about people who may have heavy suitcases or may be carrying heavy bundles. And those designated seats, or the elevator, things like that, the escalator as well, you can always count on that. They are thinking and considering the needs of every person who lives here. So number 3 is the signage. Often, because we are dependent on the public transportation, so you're not always sure, but we have good maps and good signs. And when you get into the subway station itself, there's always signs in a couple of languages, and thank goodness in English as well. So you won't get lost. You'll always be able to see a sign. If you just look around, there's a sign. Transfer with arrows, and even on the floors. And they're color-coded, which is really, really nice. You also have signs for the handicapped and the disabled and the elderly, to the elevator, things like that, in English. So I can always count on that. It's very helpful. Also, you have maps inside, and they're electronically powered. You can touch the sign, you can find your language. I just press the English, and I look, and everything is translated automatically into English. 4, every subway station is like a mini mall. And I'm always distracted because in every station there's something new to see. There's always food, and you go in there and the smells are really good. If you're not hungry, you're going to be hungry in a minute, and you're going to want to buy something. So in this particular subway station that I was at, there was this delicious bakery, and I wanted to buy everything there. I kept looking, you know, which one should I choose, because everything looked so delicious. And the smell, wow. I walked into that area and I went, wow, what's that smell? And I turned around and there's a bakery. And each subway station is really interesting because although they may have similar stores, they have different kinds of stock. It's really an experience. I mean, and they're not very expensive also. If I'm hungry, I can stop. Also, there are restaurants inside, and I can stop. If I've got the time, I can get some really good food. And so if I have the time, I will go to a subway station and eat. But the interesting thing is, you're not supposed to eat inside the subway itself when you're in transit. I noticed that many people abide by the rule. No, you don't see people eating. Sometimes I want to take something to eat because, you know, I'm going to sit for a while, I want to drink some coffee, but we're not allowed to. So you eat before, you eat in the station, and then you get on the subway. So that's why the subways are kept very clean. Number 5, Wi-Fi. We can't live without Wi-Fi in today's world. And there's Wi-Fi availability in every single subway station. You can just click into and connect to the Wi-Fi. It's public Wi-Fi. Usually if I'm walking around outside or something, if I need to use Wi-Fi, I go into the subway station and I can count on always being able to get my messages and any important notices or phone calls, whatever I need.
안녕하세요. 저는 일본에서 온 나츠리입니다. 지금은 한국에서 대학교를 졸업하고 일하고 있고 부업으로 아프리카 TV에서 생방송을 하고 있습니다. 한국에서 처음 왔을 때 아무래도 필수 코스인 전통시장을 갔어요. 근데 일본은 시장이 그렇게 많지가 않으니까 되게 한국은 시장이 많고 특색이 있는 시장이 되게 많았던 것 같아요. 그 지역마다 조금씩 다르고, 그리고 수산시장이 되게 놀랐어요. 수산시장이 엄청 스케일이 커서 너무 좋았고, 거기서 바로 썰어주고 회 떠주고 먹을 수 있다는 게 너무너무 좋았어요. 그리고 쇼핑할 때 보통 백화점이라든지 그런 데를 가는 걸 상상을 하는데 지하상가에서 일본에서 되게 저렴하게 판매를 하고 있고 거기도 엄청 스케일 크니까 쫙 가게들이 깔려 있고 그런 게 너무 한국스럽고 너무너무 재밌었어요. 근데 뭔가 제일 한국에 와서 되게 놀라웠던 게 지하철에서 딱 들어갔을 때 전화를 하고 있는 사람이 있는 거예요. 근데 이거는 일본에서는 매너에 어긋나는 일이라서 보통은 소리도 못 내요. 소리도 못 내고 알림을 꺼놔요. 근데 한국은 카톡 이 소리도 들리고 이제 전화하고 있는 사람도 있고 이게 뭐야 했는데 보니까 다른 사람들도 또 그렇게 하고 있더라고요. 그래서 이거는 처음에는 놀랬지만 지금은 너무 좋아요. 지금은 오래 살다 보니까 너무너무 편하고 좋은 것 같아요. 그런 면에서 지하철이 제일 신기하고 놀라웠어요. 그래서 오늘은 제가 한국 지하철을 처음 타보고 놀란 것들에 대해 얘기해 보겠습니다. 아프리카와 반성하면서 지하철을 탔었는데 놀란 점들이 있다. 한국은 딱 숫자로 이렇게 나눠져 있잖아요. 색깔별로 이제 1호선, 2호선 이렇게 쫙 있고 출구 같은 경우에도 1-1 있어봤자 1-3 정도까지잖아요. 근데 일본은 A1에서 있고 A, B, C, D, F, G 다 있어요. 그래서 너무너무 복잡한데 한국은 되게 찾기 쉽게 되어 있는 것 같아요. 회사마다 이제 일본은 달라요. 나라에서 만드는 게 아니라 기업에서 만드는 거기 때문에 일본 같은 경우에는 그래서 그 회사마다 이름도 1호선 이런 게 아니라 뭐 세부 신주쿠 라인 이런 식으로 이름이 딱 있어요. 그래서 그걸 보고 가야 되기 때문에 일본 사람이 보기에도 되게 복잡한데 외국 사람은 얼마나 힘들까 싶기도 합니다. 저는 고등학교 때는 지하철을 타고 다녔는데 거의 4번을 갈아타면서 탔던 것 같아요. 그래서 엄청 복잡하고 1시간 가는데 그만큼 갈아타야 되니까 너무 지쳤던 것 같아요. 일본 지하철도 이중문이 있기는 있어요. 근데 그게 아마 돈도 많이 들고 지하철이 엄청 많기 때문에 또 일본은 지방 쪽으로도 가도 지하철이 있어요. 한국은 지방에는 지하철이 없는 데도 많잖아요. 지하철이 안 되어 있는 데도 많은데 일본은 지하철이 전체적으로 다 있으니까 비용이 들어서 그런 건지 이중문이 없는 데가 엄청 많아요, 생각보다. 그래서 안전면에서 한국은 좋은 것 같아요. 일본이랑 다른 점이 한국은 천장 위까지 이렇게 있잖아요. 근데 일본은 가슴 위? 이 정도까지만 오고 이거를 딱 봤을 때 되게 안전하다고 생각을 했어요. 아예 들어가려고 넘어올 수가 없으니까. 근데 일본 이즈모는 어떻게 보면 넘어갈 수도 있구나, 비교했을 때. 한국이 더 안전하다고 생각합니다. 한국의 지하철 편의성은 에스카레이터랑 엘리베이터 둘 다 있고 지하철이라서 조금 길긴 한데 길어봤자 막 그렇게 엄청 깊진 않잖아요. 그래서 되게 편하게 갈 수 있고 사람들도 되게 매너가 좋아서 딱 한 줄에 이렇게 서서 줄 서서 가는 게 매너가 좋다고 생각해요. 일본은 아무래도 지하철도 있기 때문에 엄청 기뻐요, 지하철 같은 경우에는. 그래서 서울역 가면은 거기가 지하 한 4층, 5층 정도까지 있는데 그런 게 되게 흔해요, 도쿄는. 그런 지하철이 많아서 저는 그때 고등학교 다닐 때도 엄청 기뻤던 기억이 있어요. 그래서 올라가기가 조금 힘들죠. 엘리베이터가 있긴 한데 엘리베이터 잘 없는 데도 많아요. 에스컬레이터로 되어 있는 게 많아요. 가끔 잘못할 수도 있잖아요. 그때 되게 뭐 빨리 가야 되거나 급하게 가야 되는 상황인데 이제 거기 직원한테 가서 뭐 일본 같은 경우에는 직원한테 가서 카드를 찍어야 돼요. 카드 내역이나 이런 거를 다 조회하고 네, 이쪽으로 가세요, 저쪽으로 가세요, 다시 찍어주세요 이렇게 알려주시는데 한국은 보통 하나 누르면 띠러리러리러리 하고 바로 열어주시니까 그건 되게 편리하다고 생각해요. 흔한 일이에요, 일본은. 지금도 그럴 거예요. 왜냐면 이게 위험하거든요, 되게 사실. 근데 이렇게 해도 지금 뒤에 사람들 있잖아요. 이게 한국 같은 경우에는 보통 이렇게까지 아니고 다 들어가요. 그래도 다 푸시하고 다 들어가서 다 가는데 일본은 또 못 들어가니까 저렇게 줄 서는 거예요. 가다가 한 번에 못 가니까 기다렸는데도 다시 기다려야 되는? 줄 서서 지하철을 타야 된다는 건 있어요. 이게 여름에는 정말 힘든 것 같아요. 되게 좋은 것 같아요. 엄청 보기 쉽고 특히 왼쪽에 있는 이제 지하철 지도라고 해야 되나? 다 한 번에 눈에 보이는? 그게 왜 좋냐면은 이렇게 보고 확대하면은 다 볼 수가 있으니까 그게 되게 편리하고 좋은 것 같아요. 환승 어디서 해야 되는지를 알려주는 게 되게 좋았어요, 저는. 지하철 자리를 보면은 철로 되어 있잖아요, 딱딱하게. 그게 조금 일본이랑 다르니까 신기했어요. 일본은 보통 그냥 카펫처럼 발판 같은 그런 무늬로 되어 있어요. 빨간색 무늬, 뭐 파란색 무늬 이런 식으로. 그게 조금 더 푹신한 느낌으로 재질로 되어 있는데 한국은 딱 철로 이렇게 되어 있으니까 조금 지하철 탈 때 차가운 느낌이라고 해야 될까? 전체적으로 들어갔을 때 지하철 안에 분위기가 되게 딱 차가운 느낌 있는 것 같아요.
안녕하세요. 이란에서 온 키미야입니다. 반갑습니다. 와, 제가 한국 지하철을 한국 도착했을 때 공항에서 탔어요. 공항은 크잖아요. 그래서 여기 공항이니까 지하철도 이게 크네. 근데 서울역에 내렸는데 너무 큰 거예요. 아니 무슨 지하철이 공항만에 왜 이렇게 너무 크다고 제가 생각을 했어요. 그래서 와 되게 크고 또 계단이 많아요. 이란에는 웬만한 데서 스킬레이터를 설치하거든요. 사람들이 계단 올라가는 걸 별로 안 좋아해요. 또 거기에 막 지방 이렇게 빠졌다, 할 수 있다, 화이팅, 조금 더 가면 칼로리가 조금 더 힘내, 막 이런 게 있어서 되게 웃겼어요. 그래서 계단을 일부러 해놨구나. 네, 감사합니다. 운동도 하게 되고 감사합니다. 이렇게 됐죠. 해화역에 도착을 했다. 여기 해화역에. 네, 너무 복잡했어요. 처음에는 몇 번 길을 잃어버렸는지 모르겠고 또 노선이도 되게 많더라고요. 그래서 여기서 이렇게 어디로 가야 되지? 이렇게 갈라지는 것도 있잖아요. 뭐 2호선 같은 경우에는 아니면은 저는 신도림역에서 진짜 얼마 전에 지난주였나? 또 잘못 탔어요. 제가 수원 가야 되는데 인천 가고 있더라고요. 근데 이어폰을 이고 가잖아요? 어느 순간에 갑자기 어디까지 왔나 보는데 부천? 아니 왜 부천이야? 맞아 다 있어. 화장실 있어. 맞아 화장실 없어. 이란 지하철에는 화장실 없어요. 근데 저는 생각을 안 하고 있었거든요. 이란에는 화장실이 없다는 게 그냥 없어. 그냥 당연하듯이 생각했는데 근데 한국 와서 몇 번 지하철 타는데 화장실 가고 싶은 거예요. 근데 아니면 밖에 있다가 잠깐 화장실 가고 싶잖아요. 근데 지하철 가면 되니까. 근데 또 한국에 좀 살다가 다시 이란 가니까 갑자기 지하철인데 친구한테 야 우리 화장실 좀 갔다 오자. 화장실? 어디? 잠깐 식당에서 거기까지 좀 기다려서 여기 화장실 없었어? 아니 물 마시는 건 있는데 채우는 건 있는데 나가는 건 어떡하라고. 그래서 이런 농담까지 해서 그래서 한국에는 역마다 화장실이 있다고. 친구들이 진짜? 그래서 놀랬어요. 저도 그거를 당연하듯이 생각하다 한국 오니까 그래서 역시 편의시설이 좋다. 이런 생각도 가게 됐죠. 급하면은 빨리 집에 가야 되건 아니면 카페에 들어가서 주문해서 화장실을 가셔야 돼요. 자리 그때 운이 좋았어요. 자리가 많아서. 맞아요. 맞아요. 뒤에는 여자고 앞에는 남자들. 맞아. 이란에는 여자 남자가 따로 칸이 다 따로예요. 그래서 기차가 되게 길잖아요. 앞에 10칸 남자, 뒤에는 10칸 여자 막 이렇게 돼요. 그래서 섞어서 타면 안 돼요. 아직도 그래요. 근데 만약에 진짜 자리 없다 싶으면은 여자들이 가끔 남자들 칸에 타긴 하는데 남자는 안 못 들어가요. 여자들 칸에. 이란에는 버스도 다 따로따로예요. 좀 종교적인 이유 때문인 것 같아요. 근데 한국에 처음에 제가 왔을 때 같이 타는 거예요. 이렇게 들어갔어요. 근데 지역철 진짜 출퇴근 시간에 너무 싫어요. 근데 처음에는 진짜 막 이렇게 타는데 누구랑 부딪히기 좀 그러는 거예요. 어색한 거예요. 근데 또 사람들이 되게 다들 조심히 하더라고요. 남자분들도 되게 다 조심하고 막 이렇게 하니까 되게 매너 좋고 좋은 것 같아요. 저는 되게 놀랬어요. 처음에는 출퇴근 시간이잖아요. 하지 않으니까 그냥 기다렸어요. 자리 나올 때까지 그냥 기차가 한 5개 다 갔나? 계속 기다렸어요. 좀 사람 별로 없는 기차를. 그래서 그런 적도 있고 근데 지금은 저도 이렇게 막 이렇게 타습니다. 급해 늦었어 빨리 가. 나 이거 타야 되는데. 껴다. 또 이렇게 문이 닫아요. 이렇게 하고. 죄송해요. 맞아요. 안 하더라고요. 맞아. 임산부 배려서 이거 저는 처음에 모르다가 한국어 잘 못 읽으니까 앉았어요. 근데 또 어학당 다니는데 그때 책에 나왔어요. 그래서 여기는 이렇다. 그래서 진짜 나 앉았는데 그래서 나 임산부라고 생각하는 거 아니야? 이런 생각도 했는데 근데 또 노약자 좌석도 있잖아요. 버스에도 뭐 지하철에도 이거 따로 다 있으니까 되게 좋은 것 같아요. 사람들이 만약에 어르신들이 들어오면 자리를 배려해주고 하니까 되게 저는 그 행동이 너무 예쁜 것 같아요. 따로 없어요. 그래서 이란에는 그냥 배려를 하는 그런 식이에요. 그래서 근데 여기는 따로 있는데도 불구하고 또 배려를 하니까 너무 예쁜 것 같아요. 아버지는 되게 처럼 그냥 너무 깨끗하다, 너무 예쁘게 잘 해놨다 이런 게 있고 또 화장실 있다는 게 놀라셨어요. 그 영상에서 잘 안 보였는데 같이 타는 거 이거 놀라실 것 같아요. 그래서 나 저기 앞에 내가 타고 너네 여기 엄마랑 뒤에서 타야 되는 거 아니야? 막 이렇게 하실 것 같아요. 그래서 엄마 아빠 둘 다 놀라실 것 같아요. 아니 그냥 타. 같이 타. 가족끼리 같이 타. 괜찮아. 이런 게 되게 놀라실 것 같아요. 되게 깨끗하다고 크다고. 아 이게 문이 2개 있는 게 신기해요. 스크린도어가 이란에 없어요. 그냥 거기 가면 떨어질 수 있어요. 근데 사람들이 가까이 안 가요, 사실은. 근데 한국에는 스크린도어가 있어서 왜 문이 2개야? 막 이런 처음에는 근데 이란 또 다시 돌아갔을 때는 안전하긴 하네. 네, 화장실 있다고 하니까 좋다고, 화장실 있다는 게 좋다고 막 하시는. 이게 깨끗한 게 너무 신기하고 너무 빨리 간다. 지하철은 다 빠르지 않아? 지하철에는 이란이 와이파이 데이터 안 터져요. 지하철 타면 바이바이 누구랑 얘기하는데 야야 나 지하철 탄다 막 이렇게 나오면 연락해야 돼요. 진짜 느려요. 안 될 정도로 느려요. 그리고 여기 한국에는 지하철 와이파이가 따로 있다고? 되게 놀라실 거예요. 왜냐면 제가 이렇게 지하철 안에 있는데 엄마랑 이렇게 영상통화를 하는 거예요. 그래서 진짜 처음에 엄마 나 지금 지하철 탔나? 그래서 알았어 가서 아니 뭐 괜찮아. 그래서 뭐 알아서 타. 그래서, 아니 괜찮다고. 그래서 진짜 돼? 그래서 엄마한테 보여주면서 여기 와이파이 돼? 막 이러시는 거예요. 그래서 속도가 너무 빠르다고. 그래서 엄마는 와 대박이다. 너무 좋다. 역시 한국 인터넷이 좋다. 이렇게 말씀하신 적이 있어요. 서로 쳐다봐요. 아닌 게 진짜 웃긴 게 한국에는 다 이렇잖아요. 아니면 책을 읽거나 게임을 하거나 핸드폰 하거나 책을 읽거나 아니면 자거나 이런 사람도 많고 근데 이란에는 지하철 타잖아요. 여자 남자 따로 있는데도 그냥 서로 쳐다봐요. 이렇게 서로 그냥 계속 이렇게 쳐다봐. 근데 한국에는 쳐다보면 왜 나 쳐다봐 이럴 수도 있잖아요. 아니면은 그냥 가끔마다 옆 사람한테 말을 걸어요. 그래서 그런 게 되게 흔한데 한국에는 다 자기 일만에 바쁘시는. 그래서 되게 조용하고 다 자기 일에 바쁘네요. 이 생각을 하실 거고. 한국에는 별게 다 안내 방송이 나오더라고요. 스켈레이터까지. 처음에 깜짝 놀랐어요. 누가 뒤에서 뭔가 뭐라는 줄 알고 뭐 이랬는데. 근데 제가 얼마 전에 그 스켈레이터가 안내 방송 나오는 거는 시각장애인들한테는 되게 도움이 된다는 그런 영상을 봤어요. 그래서 생각이 짧았구나. 저는 되게 항상 와 이게 지하철에 탔는데 뭐 친구랑 버스 탔는데 얘기하고 있는데 갑자기 이반역은 막 이렇게 큰 소리로. 근데 출구에 앞에 뭐뭐 있는 것까지 해. 아니면 어디 가고 싶으신 분들은 여기서 내려요. 저기 가고 싶으신 분들은 저기서 내려요. 아니면 이 방향은 와 진짜 환승하는 그 역이 진짜 되게 길더라고요. 근데 한국어만 나오는 건 아니고 또 영어 나오고 일본어, 중국어. 와 대박이에요 진짜. 저는 놀랐어요. 안내방송이 안 나와요 이라는. 버스는 안내방송 없어요. 계속 어떻게 여기 맞나?
안녕하세요 여러분. 저는 스페인에서 온 22살 프로댄서 줄리아입니다. I came with my mother the last 3rd of April, I think. My dad always looked more like about technology and not that simple. It's something, but it's like about engineering. He make like pieces for some machines. So difficult for me. Like the first thing he said was, "This airport is so big, clean and new." Yeah, I think technology and the buildings and the robots sometimes in the airport and the subway was very fast and clean. From the airport to Seoul we took subway, so it was very fast, no noise, because subway in Spain usually most of them they make noise, but the Korean subway is very convenient. Yeah. The 4 days I help them to transfer when they go to the hotel and I go to my home. I go with them. The 3rd day they told me, "Oh, we can do it alone, don't worry, we can do it." And I said, "Are you sure?" "Okay, but let me know when you arrive to the hotel, please, okay?" But they did it. They did it alone. So, and my parents don't speak any Korean, nothing. So if they did it, then it must be easy. I think my parents didn't take the subway in Spain because we live in a small city. So we just drive the car. But they took it in other countries like London or Paris. So I still think 100% Korean subway is more easy, clean and safe. I remember one day I cried because I get so lost. I didn't have phone data, so I can't search. And I was so confused. But actually now I see it and it's really easy to take the Korean subway. Very clear. You just see here you go there, here you go there. So you just choose. But at that time I was a little bit stupid. It's very convenient and clean. It's very easy. You just follow the color. Sometimes you need to walk a lot. But I mean, that's okay. The second one is there's so many big screens. It's just perfect. And and it's so safe. Sometimes, you know, something fall there and people try to catch it and then subway and then no. But this is so convenient. There's like some, you know, people wait here and here, then people get out and then people get in. In Spain, it's just, that's really cool. We don't have that. You just say, oh, what is this? I didn't tell them this is here, so we wait here. And I say, yeah, just wait and then the door open and then you can go inside. He said, oh, there's some like this to wait, but it's only for old people. I remember my dad just go there and I said, no, you need to go to the black ones. He think it's really good like respectful. And technology, yeah, of course, it's just crazy. It's so different from Spain, yeah, he was really curious. Oh, what is this? Why is this here? And he always asking me things. Yeah. I love talking. I don't get tired. I can speak all day. They just checking if there's the name. I told them, listen, when you see Myeongdong, you just have to go out. Myeongdong. Yeah, I think they happy about that. Sometimes they put some ads on the TV, so he think, oh, they put some ads on the TV. I'm so happy that exists. Yeah, because without this, I get lost. Because I just don't listen to what they say. I'm checking all the time if it's my stop or not. So without the monitor, I can't go anywhere. And they also put in Korean and English, so that's why I can check well. I use the Kakao map and then the subway map. It's so convenient. You just have to put like the where you go and where are you now, and then just he teach you how to go. It's just so good. In Spain, I think we use Google Maps, but I think this is more convenient. They were so impressed. There's Wi-Fi everywhere. Actually, they don't have data here because their phone number is from like Spain. So I told them, don't worry, there's Wi-Fi everywhere here. So don't worry, you go anywhere. And they are, oh my God, there's Wi-Fi everywhere. Even in the subway, yeah, so they were super happy about that. So they can send photos to their family and yeah. Wi-Fi in Korea is faster and also is everywhere. But in Spain, not everywhere. No, not yet. It's growing, but not yet. Sometimes, for example, when we cross the Han River, that's so pretty. They were like, oh my God, what is this? So big. Han River is very big and clean, looks clean. The water looks clean. I remember this. My mom told me everybody was with the phone like this. Everybody. And everybody quiet, nobody talk in the subway, right? My parents speak a little bit loud. Spanish people, we are a little bit loud. So we, no. And I'm like, Mom, there's so many shops in the subway, inside. So many. Sometimes there's like a huge shopping center inside, like Express Bus Terminal. What's that? It's another shopping center inside the subway. So they surprised. The clothes are so cool and cheap. In Spain, you will not find clothes or shops inside the subway. That's impossible.
I love the Korean subway. I really love it. I think anybody who came from Paris can attest that the subway here is very different. So it's very comfortable and I like using it. I think these days, they're making some construction, so they're making it a bit like some of the subway lines are newer and cleaner. But in general, the Parisian subway doesn't have a really good reputation. It smells a lot. It doesn't smell very good. It's not very clean. And also, there are a lot of people who come and ask for money and things like that, like kind of go through the subway lines. So I'm sure it makes a lot of people quite uncomfortable, but you don't really have a solution for that. So those are like the main characteristics.
Today's topic is the only things that exist in Korean subway. First is special seats for pregnant women.
Yeah, I noticed that. I mean, we have those in Paris, but the difference is that a lot of people don't really respect it that much. But here I noticed that even when the subway is really crowded, that seat is the only one that's completely empty. So people don't actually sit on it unless maybe it's like a really old lady and stuff like that. So I actually really appreciate the fact that people actually really respect it, so that even if it's a lady who doesn't really show that she's pregnant, she can have it free and sit on it. So yeah, and I like the fact that it's like really visible, like it's everywhere, you can see it, and people really respect that it's like a special seat. Don't sit on it, like, and they just kind of avoid it. So we have a special seat in France as well, but the only way to see it is when you look at the seat, there's like a little sign that says pregnant lady, a disabled person, or senior citizen. So it's very discreet, it's like this, and so it's not really visible. If somebody sits like this by mistake, it's not really their fault because they don't really really see it there. It's there, but it's only if you're really looking. So I feel like the difference is that here you're like, it's obvious. It's like if you're sitting on it, everybody knows you're in the wrong, especially if you're like a guy who is like 25 and you're just like sitting on it. People are gonna be like, what are you doing? So I think the difference is like the fact that it's really, really flashy and people are feeling too guilty to like sit on it. I would never sit on it because I feel like everybody would be like, oh my God, she's a horrible person. Or people would think I'm pregnant. So I just, in both cases, I don't want to do it. So today I just went and took a short video of the subway. I just think it's really cool that the special seat for pregnant ladies is so flashy. So that way everybody can just notice it.
Hi guys, so I'm in the subway station right now. I have my little card, so I'm about to ride the subway and I'll take you along and show you what it's all about. Let's go. Already we have the sticker for the pregnant lady. I don't know if you can see this, but you can see it really clearly, right? And I think the train is about to arrive. So as you can see, you have the seat here. So it's really like widely spread that you cannot sit on it and everybody respects it. So if you see over there, even if there's a lot of people, if people have to stand, they never sit on this thing. So it's actually really respected. And so
Second is nice infrastructure.
Oh yeah, so I guess everybody knows at this point who have been in Korea is that the first thing that you notice that's pretty crazy for us foreigners is the Wi-Fi in the subway. So to just be able to be on your phone and watch YouTube when you're on the subway, I think that was like pretty crazy the first time that I saw it, because in France, as soon as you get on the subway, your phone service is just dead. Like you can't call, you can't text, you can't do anything. So usually when you have like a meeting with your friends, you have to be like, I'm going on the subway, I'll call you when I get there. Like you can't talk to them in between because there's just no Wi-Fi. Also, the Korean subway is quite clean. I feel like I see people cleaning it every day. Like it's always really clean and there's never any bad smells. The third thing are the numbers on the door. So if people don't know what that is, some numbers are written on each door of the subway, and when you look at the navigation map, it basically tells you if you want to get off really fast and get to the elevator or get to the escalator really fast, get off at like door 1.1 and you go to. So it's actually really helpful when you're late, because you can just go to the door that's like the closest to the exit, and we don't really have this in France at all. And so the last thing is actually a really small detail, but I am actually quite grateful. When you're on the Korean subway, you don't really have to like hold on. I mean, you hold on to things, but it's actually very balanced, and even if it's going really fast, you don't really feel it, so you can just kind of stand on it. In France, it's like if you don't hold it, you just fly away with all your stuff, and here you can just kind of like stay on your two legs. If you don't have space, if there's too many people, you can just kind of like hold on to just your own body, and it's actually very balanced, and that's one thing that I really appreciate. So one thing that I definitely wish we had in France would be Wi-Fi on the subway. I think a lot of people, you know, want to check their emails and check, you know, different things, or even have a conversation on the phone, and just having your phone kind of cut off every time you get on a subway, it's like really annoying. So if there is anything we could copy from Korea, that would be Wi-Fi on the subway. And I think there are certain stations that have Wi-Fi, but that's because they have like malls, and so because of the mall they have like Wi-Fi for it. But we don't really have like a Wi-Fi that's like everywhere you can just use even on the train. So I really wish we could have that.
So the third point is that there are stores and restaurants and so on.
Yeah. So the third really cool characteristic is that almost 99% of the stations that I've ever been with always have some kind of store within the subway station. Like usually in France, you just have the subway station, you put your ticket in, you enter, and there's the subway. But here you have literally like shopping malls, like underground shopping malls, you have cafes, you have like restaurants, you have like jewelry shops, like everything is there. So I just feel like it's so convenient. Basically, if on my way home, I can just like stop by a store. I don't need to get out, go to a store, buy what I need. I can just do it there. And also there are a lot of convenience stores. So I buy food, snacks just on my way home, and it's just like so easy. So it's like almost like having like a little city underground without having to go out. So yeah, that's actually pretty cool. Yeah, little like, is it manju? Yeah, I would get this with like iced tea. When I first came to Korea, nowadays I try to not eat too much, but when I first came, I would just like buy these, iced tea, and get out, and it was the best thing. It's like my favorite memory. No, 없어요. We don't have anything. Like, I don't know, because I haven't been in France in like a good year, but I'm pretty sure they still don't have stores. Because the subway stations are very different. It's very small. You get in, put your card, and then you go through, and then you get on like the platform. There is no big like underground thing. It's like really small, except for 1 or 2 stations that have like underground malls, but those are specific malls. It's not like just in general. We don't have like convenience stores and things like that. But it's okay because the way the city is set up, as soon as you get out, all the businesses and things are all there. So you don't necessarily need anything underground. But I feel like it's just the structure of the city is a bit different in Seoul. So that's why.
So fourth is clean toilet.
Oh yeah, this is great. So yeah, the clean toilet is a good thing, I think. For me, it's like a really awesome thing, even though it's just toilets, because I never go to public bathrooms in France because they're just not as clean and they're just, you know, it's kind of difficult. So here, when I realized, like, at first I didn't want to go, but my friend was like, no, just go, it's really clean. So the first time I went, I was really like pleasantly surprised. Everything was like spotless and it didn't smell at all. So it's weird. Like now I say, oh, I'm going to the bathroom on the subway, which makes no sense to me, but I feel like here it's like very normal. People can go and redo their makeup. So if I have like a meeting and I'm late, I can just go and like apply my makeup real quick because it's so clean. I don't have to like be scared of like where I put my stuff. So I think that's really cool. That's one thing I'm really grateful for as a girl, especially.